to say is wealth. You're welcome to ZEAL'S TV Experience, where we talk about topical issues affecting our societies and the world at large. If you're joining us for the first time, it's very informative, educating, and interactive. And yes, it reviews our skills, our reaction, our reason, and reasoning. Today on ZEAL'S TV Experience, we'll be considering a very important topic known as menstrual health and hygiene. Well, it might interest you to know that a young girl at the age of 10 to 12 might not know how to take care of herself during her menstrual cycle if she's not properly educated. We go on a short break. When we're back, I'll reveal to you my guest for today. You're welcome back to ZEAL'S TV Experience, where we talk about topical issues affecting our societies and the world at large. If you're joining us for the first time on this program, it's very informative, educating, and interactive. And trust me, it reviews our skills, our reason, and reasoning. Joining me today on ZEAL'S TV Experience to talk about this important topic, menstrual health and hygiene, is no other person than Dr. Ubong Mbaba. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me today.
I hope you're good.
I'm fine, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. All right, let's talk about menstrual cycle.
First and foremost, I must commend you for choosing this topic.
Okay.
I think it's something that people think it's common, but I don't think people actually know the right things to do and the right things to talk about menstrual health. Menstrual cycle, like we commonly know, begins with when a girl sees her menstrual period and then stops at when she expects or sees the next one. So the period between when she sees her menses and then till the next menses is what we call the menstrual cycle.
Okay.
Yes.
And then at what age should a girl child be taught about this? Because I think when I was quite young, I didn't get to know much about it until when I got into school, and then it happened. I was like, wow, it happened. I was like, at some point, I didn't know from my left to my right on how to go about it. That's why this particular topic, it's very important to the girl child. So at what age do you think a girl child should be enlightened about this topic?
Like you said, times have changed. And we are beginning to see our girls experiencing menses at ages earlier than most of our parents and even us at this time. So there's no particular age per se, which we will need to begin to educate the girl child about menstrual cycle. But since we know that recently that the age at which most girls see their menses is about 8 and 9 these days, so somewhere between 3 or 2 years before then is very fair to begin. And you know that sex education begins even at age 5, where we begin to teach our girls on certain aspects about sex education. So I mean, we can start at that time. It's convenient to start then.
How should a girl child then prepare for this stage? Because I mean, in most cases, some females, they don't know how to go about it.
A lot of things that the girl child needs to do in preparing for the menses. It's not just the girl child that should prepare. The society should also prepare. The parents should also prepare. But one of the basic things that we need to do in preparing the girl child for her menses is education, proper education on what she should expect, the things that are common, like the pain that she may experience, the blood that she may experience, as well how to take care of herself in terms of hygiene, and also the psychological effect that menses have on the girl child. Those are the things that they need to do to get them prepared.
All right, now sorry to cut you. Now talking about the psychological effect it has on a girl child. What are those psychological effects it has on a girl child?
First and foremost, once a girl child sees the menses, she begins to know that she's a fertile woman. She begins to know that she's going to get pregnant, and then that on its own is a certain level of responsibility that has conferred on that child. And so the other things that are possible is that we begin to see mood swings.
Okay.
And then the child could be irritable. The pain could make them sad sometimes. And the fear that they could get pregnant, it's a huge psychological impact, which parents and the society should do a lot of education to train the child. Gone are the days when our parents used to tell our girls that when you see your menses that you get pregnant when you get close to a boy. But I mean, things have changed now, and we need to educate our girl children properly.
What are the rules of parents, guardians, and partners when it has to do with the girl child and her cycle?
Oh yes, like you mentioned, it's a cycle, and different things happen at different times, and so that different things that we need to do. For instance, during the menstrual period per se, the parents need to support the child in terms of maybe providing the pad and then providing psychological and emotional support. They also need to help the child stay clean and feel confident in herself. And then within the other part of the cycle, we also need support, because there's what we call premenstrual syndrome. You know, the psychological and some pain that comes and some other symptoms that I mean ladies or girls have before they see their menses. So we need a lot of support in that regard. So that's where the society, the family, and guardians come in. Okay.
Now you talked about, I heard you talking about psychological syndrome. What does it mean?
Oh yes, I mean, before the menses, I mean, some ladies begin to experience some symptoms, like they may be irritable, they may be sad, they may feel some pain, like breast pain, or even abdominal pain. Some of them, they have symptoms that cannot be explained. So those are the things I was talking about.
All right, now let's talk about hygiene. Looking at a girl child during this period, what are those things, those steps, those things she should do to stay hygienic in this period? Because I mean, in most cases we tend to be like, we don't know what to do at some point, at that first time when you don't know what this is all about.
Oh yes,
you understand?
Oh yes.
Okay.
It could be a very daunting experience, especially if it's your first time. But I mean, there's nothing to really worry or be scared about.
Okay.
If you're seeing your period for the first time, it's a call to more responsibilities. I would say. And so I mean, you just need to stay clean, have a positive outlook towards it.
Okay.
And then you wear your pad and change as often as is possible. Once you feel uncomfortable with your pad, it's time to change.
What happens? Sorry to cut you. What happens when someone wears it a whole day?
I mean, it depends on
medically. Is it advisable?
Oh, there's no number of pads per se that you can say, oh, it's prescribed to use in a day, but it's hygienic to change at least twice a day.
A day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some people change even often depending on how heavy their menstrual flow is.
All right, now is it advisable for men to know about the woman's or the girl child menstrual cycle and all that? Is it okay?
Oh yes, it's what we are actually advocating. Men need to take responsibility and be involved in the care of the girl child, because an educated male will know how to support the girl child at those periods. There are other times, I mean, those when we talk about emotional support, the psychological support, and even their attitude at even the school at workplace. If a man knows that there likely to be some emotional changes, he will support the girl child or the lady at workplace or at school. So that's where it is very necessary to support the man to know about the menses, so that
because at some point she tends to like behave this other way and you didn't expect it, and you don't understand it's mood swing associated to this whole thing.
Of course.
Well, most men, they don't really understand because probably they were not taught, or they are not aware, they are not inclined on how to go about it. Well, it's all cool. Thank you very much. All right, now what's your final advice to young females out there?
Okay, my advice would be that once a woman sees her menses for the first time, you shouldn't feel bad about it. Just wear a positive outlook and know that you are more responsible, and then seek for information where necessary. If your parents cannot give you the answers, you can ask the teachers at school. Everybody seems to get to have an idea of what to do about the menses, and then stay clean. It is a call to more responsibility, I would say.
right, like he said, it's a call to be more responsible. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Alright, that's been the start of today's program on ZEAL'S TV Experience. We return next with bigger, better, and stronger. And remember, don't look down on anyone except you're ready to pick that person up. I remain your TV goddess, to the Z, to the E, to the A, and to the L. You can always call me ZEAL. Bye-bye.